What's up, St. Louis? It's your host, Lucas Farrell of the STL Bucket List Show. The STL Bucket List Show is driven by Bomarito Automotive Group. Bomarito is Missouri's #1 car dealership with over 20 locations, so I guarantee that there's one in your neighborhood. Since the 1970s, Bomarito has sold over 1 million cars, and John and the entire team made us feel completely comfortable when we picked up our new vehicle recently for the family. So I can't thank the Bomarito team enough for driving this episode forward, and enjoy the show.
What's up, everybody? This is Mike Woods with Dream Builders for Equity. Excited about this episode, having a great conversation about my journey and then also the journey of Dream Builders for Equity. See you guys.
If you want to hear about St. Louis, tune in to the Bucket List Show weekly. Hear what Marissa and Luke say. It drops every Wednesday. Got a dope new guest every single week. Buckle up for the ride. Who's it gonna be? Who's on the show today? They rep St. Louis. What to do in the loo on a late night, or maybe what to do on a date night. Yeah, Bucket List has you covered. They know what's going on. What's going on? They'll give you, 18 different things to do, or 19 if you need one more to choose. Yeah, this city is a place we call home. A place we call home. Yeah.
What's up, St. Louis? We're back with another episode of the STL Bucket List Show. We highlight the people, places, and events that make St. Louis special. And we couldn't do it without you guys listening each and every week. We've been putting out this podcast now, episode 163. So I'm not very good at math, but that's a lot of weeks in a row we've been putting out episodes. And we got a very special guest in the studio today. We have Mike Woods. I have a whole list of things that you've done. Entrepreneur, obviously, author, mentor, published author, as I mentioned, co-founder of Dream Builders for Equity, and you hold a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology from Lindenwood. And really you have this passion for unifying communities, creating a better future, and really it's inspiring. My sister, I got to shout out my sister because I know she's listening, Maggie. Maggie has been trying to get you. She's connected us a couple times, and just you know how life goes sometimes. It's fast.
For sure.
So finally, I saw you, Elizabeth Danielle. She was in the studio a couple weeks ago with Myrina, and then she was talking about you, and I was like, man, everybody's talking about you right now. So you're hot right now. So
I appreciate that. that.
So thank you for making the time. I know it's busy, man. But first of all, I want to start out just by talking about you. I want to learn a little bit more about your childhood.
Sure.
You're from St. Louis, right?
Yeah, from St. Louis, born and raised, love this city to life. I grew up in Moline Acres. Most of my adolescent years was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then in high school, around 15 years old, moved to Walnut Park, the 5000 block of Robin, still a super special place to me. Lived with my father in that neighborhood. So I went from Riverview Gardens and Moline Acres
Mm-hmm.
to then Lutheran North when I moved to Walnut Park. And then from there, spent a long time in Hyde Park, which is also North St. Louis City. And that is where we currently work with Dream Builders for Equity. So all of those experiences kind of really brought me to really wanted to see a transformation in North St. Louis City.
Yeah, what's it like? I mean, first of all, looking back on those neighborhoods and all the change that has happened, and I mean, what's
Sure.
that feeling like to be able to spend your time and resources in those same neighborhoods that you
For
grew up
sure.
in? I mean, it's got to be special.
One, it feels great to see the growth and see the change and see the narratives are shifting about North County and North City, and to be a part of that. Two, I know we still have a long way to go. So I think this is just the beginning, but knowing that we got a lot of people that are super excited about the transformation coming,
Mm-hmm.
I feel really good because I know we as an organization has been super vocal and visible with talking about change and saying that change is coming to North St. Louis City. So it's super excited to be a part of it, but then also being intentional with how we communicate about North City and watching that make other folks kind of gravitate and believe that, it's gold in these communities.
Absolutely. So I want to kind of go back to your high school, college days a little bit. So what inspired you to get into psychology? Was it something about that? Because that's kind of an unorthodox approach,
Sure.
from not many kids that you grew up with probably thinking about that.
So, yeah, absolutely. I would say college to me at that time, I wanted to make my parents happy. I wanted to make my family happy.
Yeah.
I think going to it was the accomplishment for me. It
Mhm.
wasn't something that I was expecting to do. It wasn't something that I was looking to do. I really just wanted to be an entrepreneur, make as much money as possible.
Mhm.
But my peer group, we were very much thinking about how to make money.
Yeah.
So for me to go to college, it was like, yo, what is Mike doing at 8 o'clock in the morning? Why is he driving out to St. Charles and going to college? So that experience
Mhm.
was amazing. Psychology, I chose psychology uh, because I love like studying human behavior. So
Mhm.
I'm always fascinated with
Mhm.
humans. I sit and observe as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And like sitting in those classrooms, it was so interesting just to learn why we do the things that we do.
Mhm.
And I think that still has a huge role in how I live and work today. I'm able to kind of understand people's behavior a little bit more
Yeah.
than most.
Yeah, that's dope. So you wear all these hats now, not just the STL hat you got on today,
For
but
sure.
I was reading about you. I mean, personal trainer, author, entrepreneur, mentor. We talked about it at the beginning, but how do all these roles, intertwine, and how are you able to do so much with?
For
We all
sure.
got the same 24 hours.
For sure. I appreciate that. Well, one, I like to be productive. So I don't not really a fun guy. I don't think that I really enjoy fun the same way that other people do, but I really love to be productive
Yeah,
and to get things accomplished.
yeah.
So that's what I do on my spare time. If I have a second off, I'm gonna write a little bit. I'm gonna try to paint or read something.
Mhm,
And I always like to monetize like all of my efforts and energy. So, if I'm writing these poems, like why not, make it into a book?
mhm.
Same thing. I really love art, so why not collect it in an intentional way to potentially, like as an investment.
Yeah,
But all of the things that I do, I'm super strategic about it, and I really care about it in a way that makes it productive
yeah.
instead of just doing it for leisure.
Exactly. Like not having a hobby. Like you're turning your hobbies into jobs almost.
Into things that could
Yeah,
potentially create revenue.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I also just know like you get what you put into life. I think effort and energy is always rewarded,
Mhm.
and then if you have like really good intentions, I've seen that like yield higher results.
Yeah.
Everything that I do is really centered around how can I help other people, encourage other people, uh, and you just can't be God given. I know that's kind of cliche, but the more positivity you put in the world, it just comes back to you in places that you never expect.
Well, and I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs every week, and a lot of them they don't go into it. You're not like, okay, let me become an author so I can sell a million books. It's like let me help other people write, and then more people
Absolutely.
discover how my writing. And
For
then
sure.
same with being whether it's being a mentor, it's like with each person that you mentor, your web expands, and I always compare it to sport, and it's like how many swings can I get, and if you just keep
For
swinging every
sure.
day, you're gonna hit something.
For sure. Look,
You're
I,
gonna
I
hit
love
something.
volume is important. I'm
Yeah,
a big
you gotta
volume
swing.
guy. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot as many shots as possible.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, same analogy. Yeah,
that is the world to me. Like
yeah,
just be productive. A lot of times I think people like have a lot of fear, so they
mhm,
don't take the shot or they don't swing that bat.
yeah,
But for me, I recognize like that discomfort is like where you win at. So
yeah,
like just shoot, believe in yourself, and have really good intentions at the core. And I
yeah.
think like good things happen.
Yeah, I love how you keep coming back to intention. So before when did you become an entrepreneur? Was this always like while you were in college and everything? Yeah.
Yeah, so I was born. I was
What was your
born.
first
I was
business?
born into entrepreneurship
Yeah.
because of my dad as an entrepreneur. He's like, uh, this is his ideology. Like I had to listen to this as a itty bitty kid. So watching him, he owned body shops and used car lots, and then also had like a large portfolio of real estate properties. So I would go and help him rehab the houses, but also work at the shops and just watching him create his own revenue,
Yeah.
kind of operating that freedom.
Mhm.
So from there, like anything that I could sell, I would sell. And then being more strategic as I got older to try to think like, how can I make money and then also be a blessing? I think probably around like 21, 22, I just recognized that I wanted to like be the best version of myself that I could be,
Yeah.
and that I wanted to like engage with people
Mhm.
in a way that leave them better after we
Mhm.
engage. So all of the things that I do is always centered around that. But I also, because of my father, had this mentality of like, uh, what is it? Eat what you kill.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
go out and create.
Don't
So
wait for
yeah,
something to happen.
don't wait for
Yeah.
something to happen.
Because
That's the
nothing's
best way to
gonna
say it.
happen. And
Yep.
and and yeah, I think entrepreneurship is this crazy thing, and I think it's just the limitless mindset. And you've talked about mindset a couple times,
Mhm.
and one of the things I talk about a lot on these podcasts is the law of attraction. You're
For
putting
sure.
out into the world what you want, but you're doing it in a unique way. Is like you're putting out, you're giving, 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 and eventually you're gonna receive. And
Absolutely.
you talk about generational wealth a lot, and that's something that you start to think about as I'm almost 30. I'm turning 30 this year, and having my first two children, you start thinking about life a little bit different. Your
Sure, for
scope goes,
sure.
instead of month to, or not even month to month, week to week,
Yeah,
it goes, now my scope's looking 20, 30 years into the future.
for sure.
How, if for the younger people that listen to our show, we got a ton of people in their early 20s and even in high school that listen to this show. What does generational wealth mean to you? Is that mailbox money? Is that
Mhm.
real estate? Is
Mhm.
that multiple streams? And is it, or all of the
Mhm.
above? Yeah.
So for sure, all of the above.
Yeah.
I think it's trying to accumulate as many assets as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Things that hold value or increase in value.
Yeah.
But I also think it's like generational knowledge. We had a conversation at 21C a while back, and shout out to Nikki Montana
Mm.
and also the rest of the folks that was there, and we was talking about like sometimes generational wealth, like the word wealth,
Yeah.
is really like a massive a lot of money.
Yeah.
Uh, Sometimes that's not realistic, but generational knowledge is just as important, or maybe more important. Us like passing down information, family to family, that keeps us stable
Mhm.
and happy and healthy.
Yeah.
So like again, it goes back to being like deliberate and intentional, like how you live and like the things that you're passing along. So
And knowledge is achievable. And it like
so achievable.
it,
Yep.
it I mean, some people obviously that you have different resources, but now with the internet and with YouTube and all these
Hmm.
different things, I mean, there's no excuse not to learn.
Oh yeah, it's there.
It's
You
everywhere. So
it's
even social
everywhere.
media, if
Yep.
you use it right, and I think one of the best ways I use social media is every day I was unfollowing pages
Hmm.
and following new ones that had. I was curating the social media feed to
That's
be,
smart. You're fixing
and
your
instead
algorithm.
of being distractions like cars and
Yep.
clothes, and
Yep.
maybe that could be, but like
Hmm.
that's wasting time instead of like, okay, let me follow this guy or this guy or this girl or this woman or whatever. and
Yep.
and I think that kids now, it's like we have all this information and you can build
Hmm.
businesses on the internet. I mean, we've done it.
Yep.
So I want to talk a little bit about Dream Builders. First of all, I love the name.
Hmm.
I love building, and I love those two words together are just two
Sure.
great words. But
For
when
sure.
I was looking at your website, you have these kind of like these four terms. Build it, own it, earn it, and strategize it.
Yep.
So if you could just give people a little overview on what you guys do, because I think it's so
For sure.
big, it's hard for me to even see everything that
No,
you guys do on the
for
website.
sure.
It's hard to even build a website that shows that.
It's bigger when you actually are in it as well. But ultimately, our goal is to really be a part of the transformation of North St. Louis City and tackle like the vacant home epidemic that's plaguing that area.
Hmm.
We do it by like hiring young people,
Yeah.
ages 16 to 24, and then pairing them with minority contractors
Yeah.
to complete rehab. So our young people are like working side by side with contractors. Contractors are leading the way. We're transforming the neighborhood, but at the same time, like really feeding the young people with knowledge and information, and more important than all of that, exposure. Like
Yeah.
we're showing in the entire world.
Hmm.
We use real estate as a vehicle to do that,
Yeah.
but we don't limit it to that. They also are journaling throughout their process.
Yeah.
We compile those journals, make it into a book that they have 100% ownership of. As we were like rehabbing this neighborhood, we recognized that like the houses alone won't be enough to transform the neighborhood. So we was like, how do we bring like some commercial businesses? How do we bring like grocery stores? So we took it upon ourselves to open up a retail store in
Hmm.
this same community. The retail store has screen printing, embroidery, DTF. So you can actually come to the space, create your own products, and sell it
And that's
directly to
House of Vision,
consumer.
right? Yeah.
And that's House of
Yeah. Yeah.
Vision. So the students get access to that. They're able to create. They actually able to own their own products and sell it to consumers, but also
Mhm.
community members get access to that. We're working on a daycare facility too
That's
in the
huge.
same neighborhood. Again, thinking holistically, like what can make this neighborhood super strong.
Mhm.
There's an amazing daycare provider in Hyde Park.
Yeah.
She will be moving into this space once we have it like beautified and rehabbed.
Mhm.
So again, just thinking like, how do we impact the neighborhood in a real way,
Mhm.
but centering young people in the conversation and everything that we do?
Yeah.
That's us in a nutshell. There's
Mhm.
one more thing. We teach chess. I'm addicted to chess. If
Are
I
you
got,
really?
oh my god, I love it. I think I'm pretty good. I usually can beat mortals, but like when you get like the international masters and all of
Yeah.
that,
And
it's
St.
not
Louis is a big
even.
chess town too.
For sure. There's a lot of money here for chess, and there's a lot of really great
That's so
players.
random. You're like, and we teach chess.
And we
So
teach
you're bringing your
chess.
hobbies in. You're like, hey, I love it. You
A-
might love it too.
Absolutely. And a lot of those things are centered around like young people that are amazing and like we wanting to like highlight them and allow them to kind of explore
Mhm.
those dreams too. But yeah, we teach chess to some amazing kids in the Riverview Garden School District, 6 different schools.
Yeah.
Our students are going and actually teaching and leading those
Mhm.
chess sessions. And
Yeah.
shout out to Kenny Mo and Hump.
Mhm.
They run the show in the chess department, and
Yeah.
it's been great for us too.
Yeah, when I was listening to a previous podcast that you've been on, shout out to the High Heels podcast. It was, I
For
think
sure, for
it was
sure.
late last year you were on
Mhm.
there, and I was listening to them. And one of the things that kind of stood out to me was when you were speaking about how your extreme ownership is like a big thing in you. So even when you're working with some of these people, like they also own their businesses as well, and that all falls under that same project. So you're not just employing some of these people, and it's not a boss. Hey, do
Nope.
this, do this, do this. It's like it's
Partnerships.
a client. Like they're writing,
Yep.
hey, this is what I'm gonna
I'm
do. This
typically
they're
their
quoting
client.
you. Yeah,
Yep. So
yeah.
I'm typically their client, and we're typically working as partners. And I think the value in that is that the students get to see a bunch of bosses. They also are bosses in the same experience. So
Yeah.
it just builds up a certain level of
Mhm.
confidence all around the board,
Mhm.
and it creates a certain level of like eye to eye respect amongst the entire team. And we all know that like if this goes well, if we're really impacting young people, really impacting the community, the things that we do outside of Dream Builders individually will also
Elevate.
elevate too.
Mhm.
So
So they're learning how to like invoice. They're learning how to carry insurance, what insurance to carry, whatever
for
they.
sure.
Yeah.
So they get exposed to it all. I mean,
Yeah.
we work with legal folks, we work with real estate agents, we work with banking folks.
Yeah.
We expose the students to almost anything and everything,
Yeah.
political folks,
Mhm.
all of that. We find a way to tie that into the ownership. It's really centered around ownership.
Yeah, that's huge. So I've seen all these projects that you guys have done, but is there one that like really hit home to you where you like after it was complete, like you probably have that one where you're like, man, this was.
So
I mean,
man,
they're all special.
all like they're literally like babies, man. All of them are extremely special because none of them were easy. I think we
Yeah.
fought like hell for each of these homes, and like we do some general contracting, we do free home repairs for seniors. So like
Yeah.
it's always a lot, and we are a small team of maybe 7 or 8. And I mentioned a lot of things that we're doing, and it's just a 7 or 8 folks
Yeah.
that are leading it all. So I would say the first one is always going to be the most special because
Yeah.
we got it, we did it. Like we didn't even know we really could do it. It was like that. Take a jump and believe. And shout out to Neil Richardson, the other
Yeah.
co-founder of
Yeah.
Dream Builders for Equity.
Mhm.
It was our faith like that brought us together. We grew up in a church together,
Mhm.
and then our faith like allowed us to like do things that was damn near impossible.
Yeah.
So that first one is big for us.
Mhm.
The most recent one, shout out to Jessica and Colin. They lead our construction now. And then the most recent one was a 4 family that we converted into 2 townhomes that we sold separately, 3 bathrooms,
Mhm.
3 bedrooms on each side.
Yeah.
This house had fire damage, roof damage. I mean, anything you can
Mold,
imagine,
everything. Yeah.
everything had to be fixed, repaired, and brought new. And shout out to Habitat for Humanity as well. We've been able to partner and collaborate with them.
Yeah.
But that was a huge project to get done.
Yeah.
We put those houses on the market and in the same week they were completely sold both. So that is just a testament to like the myth that people don't want to move back to North St. Louis City.
Mhm.
We're seeing, if you had an inventory, you have great houses, people are excited to come back.
Well, people just want community. I mean, the reason why, I mean, if you look at St. Louis and you look at, well, I used to live in South City for a long time, and South City has everything you need within a mile of any
Yeah,
place that I
for
need.
sure.
You need a place to, because if some people don't have cars, how are
Yep.
you gonna? Or the
Yep.
grocery
Walkable
stores is a big
neighborhoods
thing.
are,
And the food deserts are a big thing, And
Yeah.
I had Food City on here, and they were talking about stuff
I
that they
love
were,
Full City too.
yeah,
Shout out to Darren.
yeah, Darren, he was on
Yep.
here. He was talking about that, but yeah, that's why I liked it. It's not just building a nice house in a random neighborhood. It's like, hey, how can we bring like a little market here so that people can get the services they need? The daycare, that's another huge thing.
Yeah,
If there's no
for
childcare,
sure.
it's like
No,
you,
that's
yeah,
extremely important.
yeah, and it's not in-house childcare. This is a legit childcare.
This is
Yeah,
the real deal. Yeah,
yeah,
that spot is gonna be so gorgeous and amazing.
yeah.
But yeah, absolutely, you're right, man. You have to think about it holistically when you're dealing with neighborhoods, thinking about everything. So it's been a beautiful ride, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's really been super special for me because I lived in this neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
for such a long time and have so many friends and family that are in this community. So
Yeah.
like, I feel really a part of it. It doesn't feel like work at all.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like purpose.
Yeah. So the farmers market's coming back in May, Hyde Park, or
I believe so.
yeah,
Fingers crossed.
yeah,
Yeah, I believe so.
yeah, that'll be huge.
Mhm.
So were you a construction guy, or you were just a real estate investor? Or
So
you figured
I
it?
had and
You were a
have
DIY guy.
look, I get it done, man. I had and have investment property. So at the time that Dream Builder started, I think I had 3 or 4 houses.
Hmm.
Actually, the first house that we did, I donated over to the org
Wow.
for us to get started. So always just having like a small portfolio of real estate properties. Uh, I always got to mention like Neil spent half of his money just paying the students and actually getting us started with those
Hmm.
early on rehab. So like a lot of this was us just doing
Funding it.
whatever we
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
But we both had a small portfolio of real estate properties.
Hmm.
I was renting out my home, so I would like buy a house, uh, make it as pretty as I could with the skills that I had, and then rent them out, have passive income,
Hmm.
and then ultimately, once I have enough equity in the house,
Hmm.
I would then sell the house. So
Hmm.
that's kind of been my journey. That's kind of the same thing that I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark. I'm gonna do so many shout outs
That's
in
fine.
this.
Yeah, I love
Shout
that.
out to Mark Butler because we're actually looking for properties right now to continue that.
Yeah, no, that's super special.
Mhm.
So I think what was beautiful is like now you can drive through. So like the thing that makes what you do so special, and we build internet companies, which is cool, but like you don't see anything in real life. You can drive through
Mhm.
the neighborhoods and you can see
Yep.
the impact that
Super
you're making.
tangible.
And now you're seeing homeowners with young families moving in,
It's
and
man.
without you guys, and not saying you guys are the only people out there, but you're a
Mhm.
big part of it. And it's
For
like that
sure.
neighborhood
Thank you.
could just be gone.
For sure.
It was probably at sometimes like you didn't know how much life was left in that
So
neighborhood.
so absolutely. Absolutely. It feels great to be able to see finished product,
Mhm.
to see things get better and better. I think it's dope for our young people also to see it.
Yeah.
And I always think about like the very beginning of Dream Builders when we didn't have that credibility yet built
Yeah.
with students. So we would like go into a classroom and tell 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds like, hey, we're gonna rehab a house and publish a book. And they'll be like, oh,
That's cute.
okay, yeah, that sounds cool. Like
Yeah.
they thinking we're lying. We didn't even know if we were lying or not. We just like, hey, we're gonna try this.
Yeah.
So for them to like go through that process, trust us, and then see the houses actually become completed, and them actually have a real part in that,
Mhm.
and then be able to actually make money from the sale of the properties too.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's just the proof is in the pudding.
Mhm.
They're able to actually see it in real time, and I think also people that support us,
Yeah.
it's kind of easy because you can come see the wins of our young people, but then also see the wins of the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think the young people stands out to me more too because getting exposed to career fields that they might not have even thought about.
Sure.
We see with the internet now is like everybody sees all these people, but they don't see people actually working a blue collar job, and like a
Sure.
lot of these people might discover and be like, oh my gosh, like I'm really good at tuck pointing, or I'm really good at
Sure.
roofing, or
For
I
sure.
love doing decks or finishing kitchens, and it's
For
like
sure.
those are some of the biggest and best businesses you can get into. because there's not that much competition anymore. If you just
Absolutely.
answer your phone, you're like top 10%.
Absolutely. Man, listen, we deal with contractors, so trust
Yeah.
me, we know.
Yeah, you know.
And yeah, we're trying to build that stock of
Yep.
young people that can go into these fields and be super successful.
Mhm.
And they're killing it, man. We got some of the dopest kids, and they do a wide range of things. It's not just the construction field that they end up gravitating to. Like, we got a kid, I mentioned him in the last podcast, Dr. Roderick Jordan, who actually became a dentist. We have young people that are killing the shout out to Corvine, who are like really doing it in the field of construction and rehabbing houses, buying their own properties.
Yeah.
But we also have like a Gerald Burton who is in the journalism world, working for Channel 4 and things of that nature.
Oh,
So
really?
it's a wide range of like how we expose them. But I think for us, the biggest thing is giving them that confidence and belief that they can do anything. And I think that is a part of like why our team, like the folks we partner with, are so important when they're able to see themselves in those folks and recognize that they're doing and living out their dreams.
Mhm.
It makes it easier for them to believe that they can live out their dreams too.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to see it. You have to see it first. So you mentioned that, and that's just going to keep continuing. I love talking to people in your space in the nonprofit world because you see these kids that come into you. I mean, you said that 16 sometimes. Yeah, 16.
Yeah. The youngest is probably like 15, but yeah,
Yeah.
usually 16.
16, and it's like you've been doing this for how many years now?
Since 2016, it's going to be
So
10 years next year.
8, 10, yeah, 9 years,
Yeah.
10 years. So like those 16-year-olds you had at the beginning are now 26, 27, 28, 30, like the people that came
Crazy.
in. And on that other podcast, I listen, like somebody's a dentist, somebody's
Yeah.
this, somebody's this, somebody's this. And it's like, that's just going to keep happening.
Yeah.
And that's part of like the mentorship is you're a father figure to hundreds and hundreds of kids,
For sure.
even just one small interaction, but I'm sure there's some, so like, what does it mean? Like, what's the privilege of being a mentor mean? I mean, did you have good mentors growing up? Is that why you want to
For
get
sure.
back? Or
So one, I think I model everything after my relationship with my father.
Mhm.
I had big sisters. I'm the baby, so
Mhm.
like all of my siblings are 10, 15 years older than me.
Yeah.
So that's where the mentorship started. My mother, like she's always been
Mhm.
somebody that I could get information from as well. So it started there, but the privilege of it now is like we got students that are like the coolest people in the world. They genuinely have massive followings on Instagram or they already have their own businesses.
Mhm.
They're doing all this amazing stuff and they still appreciate being in Dream Builders.
Mhm.
To me, that touches my heart because I remember being a cool kid myself and like being really too cool to engage with stuff or
Yeah. Any
participate
programs.
in programs.
Yeah.
Or if I did, I would kind of hide it or whatever. And our students 10 times cooler than I was. And don't take that to heart if y'all watching this.
Right.
Y'all probably not 10 times as cool. But they're super
They
special.
take pride in it. They talk about
And they
it.
take super pride in it.
Yeah.
And I know it's based in like the family that we create, but then also based in the fact that they really making money.
Mhm.
They're really like bosses in this and they're really able to create things
Yeah.
that live outside of Dream Builder. So
Mhm.
it means a lot to me to be able to like do that more than just mentor. It means a lot to be able to like fuel their confidence to be able to go out and do
And
things
they're
in
asking
the
you
world.
real life questions though too. They're like, "Hey, something happened
Absolutely.
with this or this girl or whatever." It doesn't matter.
And these
Yeah.
are things
Yeah.
that I can say that I not only like sympathize with, but like I went through all of these things. We have the same lived experiences,
Right.
come from the same type of community. So like whenever they bring a thing to me or anybody on the team, like we really can, we got
Mhm.
real proximity and we
Yeah.
can really give them helpful information and feedback. So
Yeah.
it's been great, and it's and vice versa, man. I learned from so many of our young folks, like they smart. They got me beat, man. Like I'm able to listen, and a lot of them are going to like watch you or killing it at ranking or like getting this post secondary education that I would have dreamed to have. Though I had great post secondary education too, but I'm watching our students flourish in different ways,
Mhm.
and even in the entrepreneurship. Yes, I started young, but I'm again,
Mhm.
Kyrie, Carvine, Q. Like these are folks that are early on dream builders that created their own businesses now and are thriving. So
Yeah.
it's real cool to see them and learn from them now.
Yeah, and it's cool because you kind of get to stay young because you get to hear all the things like all the
I know I'm old, bro. I
you
don't think I want to be. I want to stay young, but man, I'm bald. I'm getting
That's what
old.
hats are
I
for.
can't play basketball the same.
Yeah,
But
you
I
tear
can.
something.
Oh man, I can,
That's why
if
you
I
play
get.
chess. 'Cause
Oh,
you'll
I got
tear-
it. That's it. Now you crack the code. I play chess because it's safe. It's a
Yeah.
little bit more safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I
You
definitely
learn
get to
stuff.
live through them and kind of pay attention to how they move and kind of cheer them on for real. Cause yeah, I'm recognizing I'm 38 now. So I'm recognizing like, yo, I'm getting older. I don't feel it. I don't recognize myself as the adult. I still feel like I'm like the college kid that's doing well.
Yeah.
But like, no, we getting there. I'm old. I'm
Yeah.
old now.
Well, you feel different. You don't feel it until you go play basketball, and then you feel it after, and you're like,
Oh my
man, what the
God.
hell?
What?
And then you see like I always look at athletes and like LeBron. Obviously, he's older than you.
Yeah,
and
he's
dude-
older than me, and he's out here. Yeah, I don't get it. No, so and I'm in decent shape. I work out every single day, but I think I was super competitive in basketball. So like to not be able to dunk or do the things I used to be able to do is like I'm washed,
It hurts.
bro.
Yeah, it hurts.
It's like this is not the same.
My wife's a teacher, and she gets to like kind of live through these kids, not live through these kids, but she gets to hear. So she'll come home and she'll be like, "Do you know who this person is or this?" I'm like, "No, I don't know who that person is," but they're like the hottest thing out, the girl or like the influencer and stuff, or like the rapper, and I'm like, "What? Who is that? That music's trash."
When you get to the point where you're older than like the people you looked up, like the celebrities as we growing up, you look up to them.
Right.
And now, like, the NBA players are 23 and stuff. It's like,
well, I was watching
how?
Cooper Flag the other day,
he's
and I looked him up, and he was born in 2006.
That's impossible,
And he's
bro. That's crazy,
fucking
right?
beast. And he's about to play in the NBA. He's 18 years. He just turned 18.
Yeah, he's a monster, and he's a kid. He's like genuinely
2006.
a kid.
Where were you at in 2006?
That's like my freshman, sophomore year in college,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I'm saying.
Crazy. Yeah, no, we're getting there.
Yeah, it's crazy because I looked at him like 2006. I got people on my team, and I was born in '95, so I was like, "Oh, I'm a '90s baby." But then I have people on my team that like, they put in their resume and it says 2000. I said, "Whoa!"
It's insane.
But they're adults,
and they look at us.
They're adults.
For you being born in the '90s to somebody being born in 2000, they think like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
You know,
it's funny, man.
It's crazy.
So we didn't really talk about fitness. So like, how has like your fitness journey helped with everything else you do in your life? Because a lot of people talk about and probably when you started in fitness, it wasn't as big as of a trend as it is now. But like, how does that fitness go with being able to stay sharp and everything else you do in life?
Discipline. I think the discipline and routine is so important to my life. So like working out, I don't love working out. Again, once I recognized that I was going to work out every day, that's when I was like, you know what? Let me figure out how can I like monetize this and how can I like start a company around this working out. Again, I monetize everything that I do regularly. So I jumped into training just because I knew that I was going to really be passionate about working out every single day. And that the way that it impacts my life today is that it's still a core value. Like when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is pray, work out, make a smoothie, take some vitamins. Like having these things that I know I'm going to do early on, which gives me like a super advantage.
You already won the day. If you
I already
those
won
tasks.
the day if I just completed these tasks. Listening to an audible book while I'm working out, reading a physical book right after I get out the shower. Like just having those early wins, and I track everything that I do. So like, if you look at my phone and my notes, every single activity that I do, I write down and I write the word done next to it in big, bright letters. So at the end of the day, I can actually like see those things and feel so accomplished, and that like fuel me for the next day. And I want to continue to like outdo what I did the day before. So I think working out really started that understanding of like routine, habits,
and doing things that are hard.
And doing things that are hard, yep.
Yeah, and getting them away. Like they always say, do the hardest thing first. So if you have a hard phone call to make, or if you have whatever it is, just get that out of the way in the morning.
Get it out the way. It feels good.
And then move on with your day. So, that's inspiring to see like that. So what's next for you guys? I mean, obviously you have big projects in the works, but like, I've been reading about it, and it's like you kind of want to expand Dream Builders, and like, I mean, you guys have a long-term vision for what you're doing.
Absolutely. So first, we want to get it right in Hyde Park. So we're in Hyde Park, place based there. We want to really start seeing more and more of that transformation, and then we want to document that. So
Yeah.
we want to like continue to like own our processes and like know what we do really really well, and like kind of cut out the things that we're maybe not achieving
Mhm.
at the same pace. Then we want to put that into a blueprint to where we can hand it off to anybody anywhere for them to be able to do the same thing. So imagine every city or every underserved community being able to say that they have a dream builders where they can um, know that young people will be employed, but then also see that they have like a catalyst for development in their neighborhood. That's
Mhm.
what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to solve for,
Mhm.
and really make it like easy to put in different places. So
Mhm.
we're spending the next 2 years of just like really ironing it out and
Mhm.
getting it really figured out so that we can then scale and do it in
I
other
feel like you
places.
guys need like well, obviously the blueprint of like documenting everything, but I feel like somebody needs to be filming this. Is people filming some of this?
So shout out to Jeff, shout out
Okay.
to Drew,
Yeah.
the film lord. I
Oh, Drew the
definitely
film lord. Yeah, yeah.
Drew is cold.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
Jeff Hudson, bro, he's cold as well.
Yeah.
These are folks that spend a lot of time with us. Jeff be with us the whole summer. And so we just did a documentary with the film lord
Mhm.
for our fashion show book signing that we just have, and
Yeah.
that was amazing, January 4th.
Yeah.
And now Jeff is like constantly getting all of the B-roll and footage of us, and we've been talking about like maybe
Putting something else
putting
together.
something together for sure.
Yeah.
I think the journey is gonna be amazing, especially like from the beginning with me, Neil.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, this been
Do
an
you guys got a
amazing ride.
podcast? You and Neil? No.
No, we
You
don't.
should.
We
Or
don't.
you
That'll
should have a
be
podcast.
yeah. You know what? Me and Neil on a podcast would be crazy. That would be
Yeah, because then you could
interesting
talk
for
to some of the
sure.
kids. You could just start hosting some of the kids.
That would be
The employee of the
crazy.
month. Hey, best employee this month, get on the podcast.
So that's dope, and I love that. I never considered that, never thought about that, and then the combination of me and Neil, I think that's
because
a
you
special
listen to
combo
you
for sure.
mentioned audible books, and it's like
Mhm.
not many people, I not a lot of younger kids are reading the physical books, they're listening. So it's
Yep.
like, how can I put this information that I'm writing or this information that I have on my website, or but like podcasts are like, we've been doing this, we've done 163 episodes.
Congrats,
So
too,
one
man.
hour
Congrats.
each episode, that's 163 hours of
Mhm.
just interview based
Crazy.
stuff that you
Yeah.
could roll down our catalog and you could just pick, hey, who do I want to listen to today?
It's amazing. Yeah.
And I feel like, there needs to be a podcast studio in Hyde Park. Maybe we could talk about that. I know the
So
equipment. We need to get one
yeah,
out there.
let's do that, and it's so on time. Man, I told you I was gonna do a million shout outs. Shout out to Mac, shout out to Kenny Mo, shout out to DJ Supper. Like that's actually something that they've been talking to
Yeah.
me about, is like, how do we do some type of podcast
Yeah.
arrangement, and then also highlight the students or let the students participate in it. So that's a conversation
Yeah.
we are about to have. I would
Yeah.
love to have a goat like you
Yeah.
in that conversation
Yeah,
to kind of
that'd be sick.
help us figure that out.
Yeah.
But that's crazy, man.
Mhm.
That's kind of divine because we actually got a meeting scheduled on Friday. So I'm
Mhm.
glad you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even the think I never considered me and Neil doing a podcast. That'd be crazy. I
Well,
think we'll do
I
great.
met him at and we just met once, but it was at
Mhm.
the Four Seasons. They did is when Ramsey's Kitchen opened, and he was
Okay,
like
okay.
he
I
does like all
remember that.
big stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
was, I met him, and I meant, he gave me his card. I never connected with him, so I'll have to have you connect
No,
us.
Neil's
Yeah.
the real deal.
I'd have to have
man.
him on his show too. Yeah.
I'll definitely tap him as a reminder.
Yeah.
But no, Neil's the real deal. That dude mind is a beautiful mind, bro.
But
He's
I
dope.
think that, like, yeah, having like a studio there, and not just a music studio, but just like, hey, like record stuff or like read stuff, or
Yeah,
like
I
one
love
of the
that.
cool things I see people doing now is they have their parents, interviewed, and then they get to keep that interview for when their parents pass. Like, there's just different things you can do with
For
audio.
sure.
And people are so used to, you just said you listen to audiobooks every
Yeah.
day, or
Yep.
podcasts, or
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
I when I work out or when I walk, I don't listen to music because I was like, I'd rather learn while you can do two things at once.
So productive.
And
Yeah.
and it doesn't hurt your workout.
Are you a walk guy?
Yeah, I walk. Yeah.
I walk so much. Bro.
Yeah.
I love walk.
Yeah.
Like if I
Yeah, I
like
walk.
the best feeling in the day is if I got time to squeeze a walk in. I love walking.
Yeah.
And listening to a book that's
That's the
phenomenal.
best, man.
That's
Especially
that's,
right now, the weather's perfect.
man.
And just being able to walk. And now I got the kids. I got the stroller. Boom,
Oh,
I'm walking.
You living it up.
Have you heard of people in the fitness? They're wearing the vests now, the heavy vests. And now
So,
it
yeah,
turns the rucks. You
Yeah,
heard
I
that?
have. I've been seeing it, not
Yeah.
just hearing. I've been seeing it. I don't know if that's I don't know if I want to do that, but
It's like
yeah,
a
I've been
40-pound
seeing it.
vest. It's like, then you
That's
walk on it, but it
insane.
kind of looks like a bulletproof. It kind of looks a little weird, but
I mean, I get it. The walk is so, man, it has so many different benefits to you health wise,
Yeah.
cardiovascularly, but also like mental to getting that oxygen into your brain,
Yeah.
and especially if you got like really good scenery. I love neighborhoods. So
Mhm.
some people do parks, or
Mhm.
I really just like to find really dope neighborhoods,
Yeah.
see that so I can envision that, and then also like think about things I could bring back to North City too.
Besides Hyde Park, what do you think like some of the most unique neighborhoods that have the most character in St. Louis? Like, do you have
I'm
some
a Lafayette
gems?
Square guy. I
Yeah,
love
it's
Lafayette
beautiful.
Square. It's
It's
so
beautiful.
gorgeous.
The houses are unbelievable.
Unbelievable. They so tall. I just imagine like when you get old, it might be crazy
Yeah,
unless you get like an elevator.
yeah,
But
yeah. Old people.
I love Lafayette Square.
Mhm,
I love Soulard. Soulard is very similar to Hyde Park. Like
mhm,
that housing stock is very similar to the Hyde Park
mhm.
neighborhood.
How old are the houses in Hyde Park? Like most of the ones you guys.
Early 1900s or before.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
They're all historic. Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
yeah, super historic neighborhood.
Mhm.
Gorgeous homes, spiral steps, all type of really cool
Do you
designs
guys
when
work
you
with
get
tax
in
credits
there.
and stuff like that? Historic tax
So,
credits
yep,
when applicable.
sometimes
Yeah,
early on we were intentional not to do that because we wanted to make sure that all the tax dollars are going back into the school systems and
yeah,
things of that nature.
yeah,
But now, yeah, we do that a lot just because we might now 1,000 square foot house might cost $175,000 to rehab,
yeah,
which in the past is 80 or 90,000.
yeah.
So you got to do whatever you can
To get that
to get
rehab
that
down.
down, yeah,
Yeah.
because you're not gonna sell it. Not gonna sell 1,000 square foot house for 170,
Mhm.
unless you do it with the quality that we do. We got some real good quality,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I love like Webster Groves. I love what's
Mhm.
another
I like
Clayton
Webster
is
Groves
great.
because they got like the old siding homes, and they just like look. They I like how they're so far off the street, so they
Hmm.
have this sidewalk that goes all the way up to their house, and they got like
It's
huge front
gorgeous.
yards.
Gorgeous,
Uh,
and this is a suburb that has like super character,
yeah,
and usually I'm not big on counties. I really like the city,
yeah,
but like Webster Groves, it has so much character,
yeah.
so I really
And
appreciate that.
and you can get inspiration from them because you see how strong their downtown is. And you go walk down in
Hmm.
every single place,
Hmm.
and there's no for rent signs. It's
No,
just it's buzzing.
everything,
It's buzzing.
everything, yeah. No, I'm a big fan of what they
Yeah,
do. I spend time there. Central West End is always great. You can't go wrong with Central West End. It's
yeah.
kind of given, and yeah, man, it's some
South
cool
City, man. I'm a
neighborhoods.
South City guy. I like Holly Hills, and I like
Holly Hills is
those are beautiful
located. Yep,
houses. Northampton, Southampton,
yep.
anything
St. Louis
around.
Hills.
Yeah, St. Louis Hills.
The hill is amazing too.
Yeah,
Like you can study
it's
the
cool.
hill.
It's cool.
It's especially
That
now that
neighborhood's
they're
got it figured out,
building.
bro.
Oh my
They
god,
got like,
that community
dude, it's so
vibe.
tight.
I want that for us in North City. Like I want us to be that intentional about like how we live and how we stay
They
together.
only support like the Italian community there. They literally give money to all their other Italian. Like it's
I
just the
mean,
money just circulates down the street,
that's I mean, and
and none of those places have been out of business. They're
that's
all there.
exactly it.
And then when a home goes up for sale, they don't even list it. They just put it out in an email blast to all
Yep,
their
to
friends, and
the
then their daughter
people.
buys it or their son. Like it never leaves the community.
Look, I love it. I appreciate it. I would love for us to duplicate it and do things similar,
Yeah,
be inspired by it. I think that should happen in North City, but
yeah,
we have to like be intentional about that community building and also just shifting like how we think and how we live. So
yeah.
no, that's a really good model. But St. Louis Hills, so the hill is phenomenal. I think St. Louis Hills is something that people don't really know about too, and that's like a really cool chill neighborhood too.
Yeah, yeah, and then Shaw's big now, obviously too.
Shaw's
Everything
great too.
around Tower
Yeah,
Grove.
for sure.
So in North City, like, who are some of the other people that are out there working like you are? I mean, do you have some other
For
people to
sure.
shout out? Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. So North City is tricky because I'm about to say Kevin Bryant. He's in the Kingsway.
yeah,
I that is St. Louis is really north and south
yeah,
to the political world, but in the real life, there's like a west side too.
yeah.
So Kevin Bryant is doing great work. Um, I think there's so many. What's my guy name? Oh, I'm drawing a big
It's all good.
blank. But shout out to Palm Peace of Mind with Colin and Jessica. I think they're doing amazing work,
Mhm.
not only with Dream Builders, but also in like Old North as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's some really dope people doing good work
Mhm.
in North City.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I want to talk about STL Bucket List a little bit. Our bucket list is our favorite things to do in St. Louis. So we love restaurants, and I know you're a big foodie. We love
Oh,
nightlife. You know, we
for
love
sure,
some cocktails every once in a
for
while.
sure.
But events, parks, different things like that. So
For sure.
when you think of your STL bucket list, you think of your favorite places, maybe shout out some of your restaurants you like going to.
For sure.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
If we go in restaurants out the gate, go with Katie's. I just told you that
Yeah.
I was watching the interview you did with Katie Collier.
She's got a story.
She
Woo!
has an amazing story, and the food, that restaurant is like impeccable.
Service on point every time.
Service
Yeah.
on point every time. Food, perfect. What else is really good for? Of course, like Louis is great.
Yeah.
I just had an event over at Burger 809.
Yeah.
Fire.
That's the interview I
Like,
saw with Elizabeth. She
you-
interviewed. Yeah.
man,
That place, the vibes there with
the
the glass
vibes,
windows.
all the
in Kingdom
glass, right
Plaza?
in the heart of right in the heart of downtown.
Yeah.
Um,
They have like little small sliders. They got sliders. Everything.
sliders. They have everything. They have like a special jam sauces.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's quality. What else do I love food wise? I'm a foodie, bro. You can't really name a place that I don't love. I was a real big fan of like Retreat and Yellow Belly. Real big fan of like Olive and Oak.
Yeah, I was just talking to Tim at Yellow Belly today. Yeah, their
He's
cocktails are
dope.
good too.
Yeah, drinks. He's the king. He's the mix master or whatever you
Yeah.
call it. Like,
Yeah.
dude is special. And always have vibes. Every place, all of his spots are super vibey. And then I'm a big like park guy, so I love the Arch. I'm actually like advisory board person with the Arch, and those grounds I can walk right. We bring our students out there each summer to just sit and write poetry. So I really
That's
love
so
that
underrated. Like
energy.
people don't talk about we have Forest Park, we have Tower Grove, we have all these parks,
have
but like when
those.
you talk about the Arch Park, the only national park with the tallest monuments in the
on,
world,
man.
like the tallest monuments
Come
and the only national park. But then also like how much money and time and resources they put into that. I didn't know you were on the board there. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, man. I brag about it because like when you really take time to experience the arts, like everything, the ins and outs, the courthouse, all of that, it will blow you away and make you really appreciate St.
The new
Louis a lot
courthouse is
more.
about to open.
It's-
Were you
it's
down there
coming.
for the preview? Yeah.
Yep, so I'll
That
be
was
there
last week.
for the actual thing too. So
Oh, I saw that announcement. I think I had Nico on last week. She's DJing it, or she's gonna be down there DJing. She was on last week. Her episode comes out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Her episode
You got
comes out
all
on
the
Wednesday.
right people. You got look. I'm happy to be here
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you do it the right way. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, I love the arts. I mean, all of our parks, like you said,
Mhm.
Forest Park is amazing.
Yeah.
Lafayette Square Park,
Yeah.
Tower Grove, Benton Park. You can like I think we have like Fairground Park is insane. O'Fallon Park is insane. If you actually spend time just visiting all of our parks, you would
Is
be
there
amazed.
like a hidden gem, black owned restaurant that we should feature on our bucket list? Like, is there one that's just
I mean,
like,
I would start with Burger 809.
Okay.
Have
and
you
that's women
heard?
owned too, women too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Sweet Art. Have you heard of Sweet Art?
I have heard of. I've got her sweets, and then I tried the chicken sandwich, and then she just opened up at the Foundry. Her name's Rain. I've been trying to get her on. I want to get her on the podcast too. She does good
Amazing.
work. I saw her on Netflix on the Netflix show. They did some Netflix show on her, and like she's crazy.
Talented cult, like,
Yeah.
and it's the healthy stuff. The sweets is definitely not healthy, but they're great, you know. But who else? I know I'm missing. Like I'm really drawing a blank on that, and I'm a big foodie, and especially
We can put it out on our email.
For
If you
sure.
want to text
I'll
me.
definitely- I got
text
you
me.
on
We'll
that,
put
for
out a
sure.
huge email list. So, just to wrap up, Mike, I want to let you leave with maybe some words of wisdom to some of the younger folks that are listening, and what piece of advice that you wish you would have had when you were 21 years old that maybe you can give to somebody today.
Sure. I would say get uncomfortable, like be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know for me early on, it was trying to be so cool would keep me away from like taking risks or doing things that might put me in a weird position. I think like say yes as much as you possibly can, believe in yourself, jump, like shoot, swing, whatever it take, but you gotta believe in yourself and you gotta start somewhere. I really do truly believe that like if you have good intentions and if you really exhaust effort and energy, it will be rewarded. I think a lot of times people just don't keep that faith, like keep the belief that what they're doing is right. And like if you understand that you're doing things for the right reasons with the right intentions and you're really busting your ass, like it's going to pay out. It's no way that it doesn't. And I think like as long as you recognize that, believe that, and also like don't have expectations of where it's going to come from, where that blessing is going
Or
to
how
come
long
from,
it's gonna take.
or how long it's going to take. Like just know that it's coming,
Mm.
and expect it and act as if it's already here.
Yeah, I think people fail to realize how long it takes. It's like
Sure.
anything you read, it says, "Oh, I did it this time." Everybody's an overnight success
For sure.
after 20 years. You know,
After 20
they say, "Oh
years.
my gosh, this guy's a hit," and it's like he's been doing this for 20 years straight. And
Facts.
really, for us, and we've been doing this 6 years, so we started 2019, and we really didn't feel success until that 5 6 years until this
Yeah.
like in this year we're starting to hit it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, wow, this is actually working. But you have to be okay, and it's not it's not an exchange. It's not like, oh, what can I get out of this right now?
Nope.
And you said that on one of your other interviews I listened to you, is like, instead of thinking long term and thinking like an owner, rather than thinking like an hourly employee.
Absolutely.
You know, and if we
It's
counted our
game-changing.
hours of all the work we did, it would make us sick. We'd break it down like,
Come
oh my
on.
gosh, I put in
Come
this
on,
much.
man. Come on. Like, and just even like, it does not cut off
Yeah.
for me. Like it's always,
Yeah.
it's all day, it's every single day.
Mhm.
And if I wanted a return for every hour, every like
Mhm.
thing I had to clean up or whatever, yeah, I would be miserable. But I think the fact that I understand that like this is what prepares me and make me be comfortable to have that hard conversation or to do that tough thing is because of all of these experiences. Like,
Mhm.
know that you're getting a Harvard education just by doing the work. You're learning
Mhm.
on the fly. You're getting so experienced that when you show up on the job or when you show up for that opportunity, you already prepared and you don't even know that you was prepared,
Right.
but it was because you like did it and you really just bust your ass,
Mhm.
knowing that at some point, some way, it's gonna be rewarded.
And you kept mentioning good intentions. You said it a bunch during the episode. So there's no get rich quick schemes. There's none of that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
it's good
Not for
intention.
me. I think so. For me, I have a moral compass. I think whatever you believe,
Yeah.
if you like standing on your belief, it kind of creates your reality.
Mhm.
My reality is like, hey, Mike, I know, and this is kind of biblical for me. Is like, if you're a blessing, you will be blessed. Like that's a fundamental principle that I have and I understand.
Mhm.
So for me, I try to win in that way. Like
Mhm.
I'm going to win by like being the best that I can be, supporting as many people as I can, like actually being a real asset to people. I know that if I'm doing that, and I have to like examine myself every single day. I think that's the thing too. Like when you get in this, it's easy to just like get tunnel vision and do it, but I
Mhm.
think it's a lot of like sitting at home, talking to your peers, talking to your like real support system,
Mhm.
and then examining yourself. Like, yo, am I still doing this for the right stuff? Like, do I still have the right intentions?
Mhm.
Because that's how I'm gonna be rewarded. That's how things are going to continue to grow. Is if it's based in truly helping and supporting.
You got to
I just
self-regulate
believe that,
sometimes.
man.
You got to self-regulate. You got to sit down and be like, okay,
Yeah.
now I might have to shift. So, no, Mike, I appreciate your time, man. We didn't even talk about, connect. We didn't even talk about a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
the
for
fashion
sure.
shows that you do, I think, are
For
super
sure.
dope.
Thank you.
I had Brock Seals on. I think you guys have done some work
Man,
together
Brock
too.
is
Brock's
a
a
dope,
beast.
bro. Art, like
He's a beast.
Yeah, for sure. No, Brock. I mean, the artists in St. Louis, bro.
Good.
Dejanero, Brock. Like it's so many. Erg Wilson. Like it's so many amazing. Kababi, who I think is like the goat of all of this. Like it's so many Dale champions. I can
And
keep
you're
going
behind
with the
art.
art.
You're supporting all these art
I
as much
love
as
it.
you
Art
can.
Dial, yes, I
Yeah,
consume
Sherelle, yep.
art as much as I can, man. Whenever I get paid, I typically buy something. Yeah, and you mentioned Connected St. Louis. Definitely want to shout out to Connected St. Louis and everybody that participate. That's a big family of us supporting Black-owned businesses and establishments. Like that's near and dear to my heart too. I've been going at that just as long as we've been doing Dream Builders and like seeing the businesses flourish, but then also seeing how like that networking culture is continuing to grow. So
yeah, that's special, man. Well, I appreciate it. We'll see you guys.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, we'll see you
Thank you.
guys next week. Yup.
Today they rep St. Louis, yeah. They rep St. Louis. They rep St. Louis.